Well, hello, welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and welcome to episode number 26. We have a lot to cover today. Some tragic news for some, and that can trigger a bit of old-fashioned, very healthy Schadenfreude. So let's get down to it, shall we? But the first thing that I want to address is it's part of the things that we have been addressing these days with this monster. We cannot even call an animal these people. We need to call him a monster. But even worse is the people who try to paint him in any other way of what he is. Laken Riley's killer never stood a chance. This is from MSNBC. This is, you don't hate the media enough. There's no way that you can hate the media enough. You can hate the media a bit more. And that's why we have reports that, Comcast is in the process of selling MSNBC at, I'm guessing that it's going to be a cheap price. And maybe the new owners would be aware that lying to your audience and making up this stuff is not a good business. It's not a good business. Not a good business. There was one thing, one thing indeed that I wanted to show you before we started today's show. It was this from my, that just retweeted that. It's something that we needed these days. This was shared by page Midwestern Air. I literally think about this all the time. And this is part of an interview with Donald Trump. Caller, I'd like to know how you handle your stress. So much stress these days. Everybody has a stress of every kind. Maybe things are not going the way that you wish they were gone. They will make you stronger. That is nice, but how do we handle that stress? Especially that oxidative stress, which is the worst one, the stress of dealing with things. When Trump's answer, I try and tell myself, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. If you tell yourself it doesn't matter, like you do shows, you do this, you do that, and then you have earthquakes in India where 400,000 people get killed. Honestly, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's one of those crazy and outrageous remarks from Trump. But sometimes you need to go absolutely nuclear, not in the sense that you're going to explode. You know that I use that expression a lot for exploding and, going all out. Sometimes you have to go to the source, and the source is yourself. I was reading a book that is called The Courage to Be Disliked. Interesting way of structuring the books, like this conversation between a student and a master. And one thing that I found very interesting is that every single problem, every single issue, every single struggle in our lives is an interpersonal issue. Every single issue is interpersonal. And when you have this kind of issues, the best way is to go to the source, and the source is yourself. Make sure that you focus on yourself first, and that will help you a lot. But let's move forward. Today's show, again, a lot to cover. I needed to. This is the good old Schadenfreude. I sometimes enjoy the suffering of others. There's an expression in English for that. It's my guilty pleasure. It is my guilty pleasure when I see people who well deserve it suffering. And I would like to know what Joy Raid. I really don't care how maybe if she shares last name with another person who would be, I don't know, that I could like, that could be another thing. But in fact, I do know what Joe Wright thinks about this. I haven't had time to generate my subtitles. You know that I love my subtitles. You know that we need to make this show as universal as possible. Gonna generate my subtitles. But Joe Wright is part of MSNBC, the ones who have been making up all these crazy things. And now we have the subtitles. Let's see what is her take on the people who voted for Trump. This is directed at those who have friends or family who voted for Trump.
People are rightfully alarmed. They have a reason to be alarmed. And if you would vote for that, people may not feel so confident that they're safe with you.
Because you voted for somebody that you don't like? All right, they will not feel safe for you. Notice that the emotion that she's trying to appeal to is fear. Because if you don't feel safe with somebody, because you fear being around them, that is as simple as that. She's using fear. And I already told you a couple times that when you want to manipulate someone, you use fear. Maybe fear of actual fear that you're going to get hurt, or maybe fear that you're going to feel inadequate, or fear that you're going to make a mess, or maybe you're going to make a fool of yourself in public. Any kind of fear is useful to manipulate. And that is what she's doing right here. So try to identify this.
Feel so confident that they're safe with you. This is not crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is quite crazy.
This is legitimate feelings of fear of you, and a feeling that you might not be someone they could trust. If this thing goes way south, autocracies go south real fast.
Okay, why didn't it go real south real fast in 2016? Nobody has been able to answer that. Nobody has been able to address that because they know it's nonsense. They know all this is manufactured fear. And I sometimes ask the question, is she actually feeling this? Does she really mean this? Or if she faking it? Because I don't know how can you really feel something and fake it at the same time, or maybe you're feeling it and you're exaggerating, but these people cannot be trusted. These people cannot be trusted just for the reason that they are trying to manipulate, not you, not us. You know that if you're watching the show, you are not being manipulated. I have been training you for years against this, but so many people that have been brainwashed beyond brainwashing is like on off. You were brainwashed. Some people can be saved, and Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving is coming. That is going to be a bit uncomfortable. All those families that are broken because somebody or a couple people voted for Trump, they're not going to be invited. I'm going to tell you, in many ways, maybe you are going through that dilemma right now. Or I don't know what are we going to do on Thanksgiving. This conflict, my Democrat family, my liberal family, this and such and such and such. Going to go back to this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You matter more. Remember that yourself, you as a person matter much more than anyone else. So it's not really a problem. That is not really a problem. Unless you make it a problem. Think about that.
And things get ugly and people get asked to do things and turn people in and point people out and turn on them.
That is more or less what the Kamala campaign was doing, but I'm not going to elaborate because Kamala is old news.
And if you're voting affirmatively, gleefully for this, people may not feel so confident in you anymore.
You are repeating the same idea but in a different way. I begin to think that you are not that sure of what you're saying. Maybe you're trying to exaggerate or something, but
that's real, and you kind of have to live with it. So if you think that you can vote for what people see as their destruction and then demand...
Oh, you said the right word. Vote for what people see as their destruction. You just let it slip. That is a matter of perception. Donald Trump is not the destruction of democracy. people have the perception of they see him as such, but he is not. You know that words. I used to be more at the body language until I realized that when you pay attention to people's words, you can learn so much more from that. Body language helps, yeah, a lot, but words.
That they still are cool with you and kiki with you and have Thanksgiving with you. Like, I think you're kind of missing the point.
Why are you talking like you're being held hostage? Why are you like you someone is going to I don't know break into your house and gonna swat you or something like that? That is part of the fear. That is part of the fear factor. Like, I'm telling you, I'm trying to be nice to you. I'm trying to warn you about this. I'm your friend. That is the kind of gaslighting and manipulation that's all that they can do. And that's why it's such a pleasure to see these people and these organizations, let's say, succumb or be torn to pieces. And I'm not going to use the actual word that I was going to use because I know that I was going to be taken out of context.
Of what people are upset about. They're afraid. And autocracy and fascism are things that are legitimate to be afraid of. So you may want to step back.
Yeah, I would like to you to define what is fascism to you. That will be nice, but that is not going to happen anytime soon. But we have other news, and part of fascism is lawfare. You know, the way of using law to make sure that you neutralize your political opponents. You go after them, you go after their families, you make their life miserable, and you pray that they surrender. But some people fold, others never surrender, and it turns out that Donald Trump, well, he was a bit more stubborn than they could think. And so we have this breaking: sentencing in Donald Trump's New York case has been delayed indefinitely by Judge Merchan. This is, well, delayed indefinitely. Some say canceled, but I think that I don't know if where's the work here. November, this court received separate submissions from defendant and the district attorney of New York, seeking various forms of relief in connection with the above captioned matter. The respective applications are decided. It is hereby ordered that defendant's request for leave to file a motion to dismiss pursuant to criminal procedure is granted, and it is further ordered that the joint request for a motion schedule is granted. Defendant's motions is due by the close of business Monday, December 2nd, 2024. Order that the application to stay the session of the defendant. Okay, this is legalese. I asked Grok to, Grok, make this easier for us that are not into legalese, so it is easier for us. The sentencing for Donald Trump in his New York criminal case, where he was convicted on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records related to a hush money payment, has been postponed indefinitely by Judge Juan Merchan. This decision follows Trump's recent election as the 47th president of the United States, set to assume office on January 20, 2025. Key points: Trump's conviction stemmed from his involvement in a scheme to silence claims of an affair with adult film star Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election. This case marked the first time a former president was convicted of a crime. The delay in sentencing was influenced by Trump's new status as president-elect. You know that it has been influenced. No. It is this common sense setting in. Okay, we might not have a case after all, so let's delay it indefinitely so it doesn't look as bad upon us. Well, the delay indefinitely might sound like it can be reactivated at any time, but you tell me if that is going to work. That is my legitimate question as not an attorney, if that could work, if they could reactivate that at some point, but I don't know. With implications of prosecuting or sentencing a sitting president, an unprecedented situation. Judge Merchan's decision to indefinitely delay the sentencing suggests an attempt to navigate these legal and political complexities, which they got themselves into possibly to avoid any perception of political bias affecting judicial decisions. Yeah, because now they are falling into place. They are realizing, they need to realize that the public have spoken. They could use lawfare at some point. But if it's like with Matt Gaetz' case. Matt Gaetz dropped out. I asked the question, by the way. I asked that question. I want to read some of your comments right now. Not we are here. I think we can afford to do this on the fly. I asked the question yesterday. Why do you think if Matt Gaetz was or is, if they had nothing on Matt Gaetz, why did he drop out? The best, I think one of the best answers was from Christine Freba. His family couldn't bear the scrutiny. That's something that I didn't think about. Oh yeah, sometimes it's not just about the person, but about their families. If they cannot have something on Matt Gaetz, and if they had something on him, that would be splattered all over the headlines in all the mainstream media within hours of his nomination. You can make his family's life miserable. This is something that you can do. And this, of course, anybody who has been remotely related to MAGA has been, their lives have been made miserable, and their families. And that's a very strong point. That there could be a strategy to it. We were talking about that yesterday. That's the point of public character assassination, to threaten the family, marriage, children, make whomever give up, quit psychological warfare. Even if you're innocent, this is something that you do, is something that happens a lot. I'm not going to be sexist saying that this only happens to men, but when men get a false rape accusation, how that goes with men. Men are guilty until proven innocent, which is outrageous. That's how it works. That's sadly how the world is running right now, and that's why men have to be extra careful if they are, going out with if they are, having an affair or dating somebody who could be a spy or MK Ultra asset or something like that, and it can end really bad. You have to think about this. Why do we have to think about these things? Why can't this be like in the 80s? Matt Campbell moves. Vance did the head count, and they weren't going to get confirmation by Senate. Thanks, Mitch McConnell. By the way, we need to do something about Mitch McConnell. Advantage is the opposition showed much of their hand on the Gaetz candidacy. They showed Trump where the pitfalls are located as he radius his next selection. Gaetz may still be part of the administration, and we already know that maybe Ron DeSantis picks him to, fill the seat left by Marco Rubio at the Senate. That would be a great move. And Minks, I also like the Minks answer. A famous tactic is to make a huge ask that will be rebuffed. Then you make what is by comparison a much more reasonable request. I have talked about this in a couple shows already, but Minks summarized this in just 2 lines. It was just perfect. Politically homeless chess denied sacrifice. Many presume Matt was never number one. He was denied. The rook will shortly move to checkmate. Just watch. Well, this is something that I have has grown on me really fast. The complexity of the actual Game of Thrones in real life. This is something that is fun to watch, fun to witness. Once you get past the more technical side of U.S. politics, especially elections, that can be a mess. But I did my homework. Matt Gaetz reportedly did not have the support of 4 Republican senators. This is important. Mitch McConnell, Lisa Murkowski, John Curtis, and Susan Collins. So it's important to keep those those names in mind. And before we move on into actually naming who's going to replace him, this is I think we can jump this is one because I want to talk about Pan Bondi. I'm going to take a look at your chat, your comments. You know what happens. Yeah, maybe it's Game of Thrones, House of Cards. You know that it is. I really loved House of Cards. That was a great show. Great show. Let me see your comments. You know what happened yesterday that was out of left field. Today I was going to do also a short show, which is I don't know how long I could be staying. So yesterday I was all on a rush. I have to do this in 1 hour, and I forgot to just pause and take a look at the chat. And you were just screaming at me. I remember that aliens scene when Ripley and Newt, they are in the lab and they are screaming at the camera and nobody can hear them because there's this guy turned off the camera, and I couldn't imagine you screaming at me, Matt Gaetz. Speak about Matt Gaetz. That's why you saw my body language all over the place afterwards. Oh my God, I was just speaking. I was just like in automatic. And okay, Je may say something. Send you a message. All right, and why you didn't see it? You sent me a message. Where's your message? All right. Yeah, this is why I tell you I have like this. I would like better communication here. Oh my God, but I don't see. I think I should have maybe X Pro. I'm gonna do this right away. I'm going to do this right away. I cannot afford to just let this messages go by. Breaking: Matt Gaetz says he will not be rejoining Congress next year after withdrawing from consideration to be Trump's Attorney General. It looks like he's done with politics. I don't think so. Yeah, Glitch McConnell. We need to do something about Glitch McConnell. See. Let me stay here. I need some kind of alarm here. When we're gonna take just a second here before we move on. Just to check if communications. I thought I had some foolproof communication here. Let me see if it works. JE, send me another message just in case. Send me another message just to send me another whatever is. I don't know. Hello, say something. I want to know if I have the blue. I should have a blue warning here on my screen, but I don't see it. But now we have Pan Bondi, a federal prosecutor for 30 years. She is going to be our next Attorney General. Federal prosecutor for 30 years, first female Attorney General in Florida, and is known for her hardline stance against human trafficking and cartel smuggling. Cartel smuggling, if anyone can find out who took the 300,000 missing children, it's Pan Bondi. This is going to be just awesome. But some people are, you know that some signals can be confusing. It's like Jim Cramer. It's like when you know what the inverse Cramer. When Jim Cramer tells you to invest in something, you do the exact opposite and you will do well. It's something that is the inverse Cramer rule. And in this case, people are a bit suspicious that Lindsey Graham, all right, Lindsey Graham is saying about Pan Bondi. Well done, Mr. President. Picking Pan Bondi for Attorney General is a grand slam. Touchdown. Whole in one ace, hat trick, slam dunk, Olympic gold medal pick. She will be confirmed quickly because she deserves to be confirmed quickly. And people, hey, wait a minute. This is not. This shouldn't be good. Why is Lindsey Graham so excited about this? You get a bit upset. It's I'm going to tell you an anecdote about this. When after October 7, my attorneys have suggested that I don't go into those topics, but I'm going to give you just a personal anecdote about October 7. It has absolutely nothing to do with an opinion about what's going on with Israel and Palestine. Well, it has to do. But I remember that when things went south in the Middle East on October 7th, I just remember that Nicolas Maduro and Hugo Chavez were always defending Palestine. And I, of course, that was, at that point, like I'm going to say like 10 years ago, I had no idea. Palestine, what? I don't care. Who is these people? I have no idea. But if Maduro and Chavez are defending Palestine, then they couldn't be good people. I mean, no. If Maduro and Chavez are defending them and advocating for them, no, I have to be. Okay. So when October, that was 10 years ago. Then when October 7 happens, of course, the Palestine and Israel goes, and I remember Palestine was defended by these two suckers, Maduro and Chavez. So I have to go easy. But then at the same time, the very next day or the same day, you got Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama defending Israel, and I said, oh my God, what do I do now? What do I do now? My current stance, I have told you many times that Hamas must be eradicated, deleted. Hamas as anything that it stands for has to be deleted, right from the face of the earth. Make sure that you listen to my words very clear. Hamas, all right? Any children from any side of the world, of any skin color, has to be protected at all costs. All children are innocent, and all children should be protected. And whoever puts children at risk has to be punished to the full extent of the law. And we know that some people can use their own children as human shields. That is just a reality. I'm just going to leave it right there. Many people. I'm going to say this, despite of what my attorneys could say. Don't get into that trouble. I'm going to say something about Israel. I think you have allies everywhere. The United States, I see many people saying, I'm only for the United States. I don't care about anything else. Yeah, anyone else. Yeah, but you have allies for a reason. You have allies so you can form some kind of coalition, and you can help your allies, and your allies can help you. And well, it's if you know that there are so many people like Iran in the Middle East who want literal death to all Americans, it helps to have an ally really close to them, and with the information and all the rockets ready and all that stuff. It helps to have an ear next to that. It helps to have someone who had a similar interest of defending themselves against that threat. So it makes sense. Again, I'm not an expert in geopolitics, but it makes sense to have Israel as an ally. I'm going to leave it right there. Again, I have so much to learn still. I have read a lot, but before I say something publicly, I want to just read a bit more about that. I digress. Let's go back to our point. CNN is afraid Pan Bondi will follow through on what she said. Because, if something that, not righteous people fear is when the righteous people say things and then follow through on those promises. They should be afraid. If you broke the law to persecute your political opponents, lawyer up. And by the way, we were talking about MSNBC being up for sale. MSNBC out for sale. But CNN is also having a lot of layoffs. Is facing layoffs. Okay, some of you are having sound travels. It was YouTube. I'm seeing nice feedback here. It's like, okay, just in case you have sound troubles, just reload the page. Maybe reload the page. Maybe that could work. Okay, it was YouTube. So maybe we are saying so many. We are telling the truth here. Just in case, let me see a couple things on my side. Want to make sure that YouTube is not throttling me or is limiting my live anyway. No, it's going fine. So maybe it's just a technical detail. What a coincidence. Okay, glitching on the live. I was glitching also on X on my messages. I need to have some kind of direct communication with my. No, it's not going through. I'm not having the. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm doing anyway. I will try to keep an eye on trying to keep an eye on the live chat. I'm beginning to sweat because I get nervous when things go wrong with technology. You know that I want everything to be perfect. But, okay, my sound is good. We can move forward. YouTube, stop messing with me. And okay, maybe it's that I have to just want to make sure that I receive the direct messages of my friends. It should have a blue blob. Any of you who want to send me direct messages on X, send them right now. They should work. If they don't work, then I would have to look for another way to communicate. Yeah, things that go. Sound just keeps cutting out for a fraction of a second every 15 to 30 seconds. Let me see how it's. Just in case, let me check if it's not my connection. It shouldn't be. Bandwidth. Okay, everything is going fine. I have a bandwidth analyzer here. Should be working fine. Okay, sound is great. Again, I'm gonna leave my network analyzer in there. Okay, I got a message. Okay, yes, I got two. Thank you. I got two messages in there. Okay, sorting things out. You know that this is there's so many things glitching sometimes. I'm and going forward. What is going on with
When
this?
Republicans take back the White House, you know what's going to happen? The Department of Justice, the prosecutors will be prosecuted, the bad ones. The investigators will be investigated because the deep state, last term for President Trump, they were hiding in the shadows. But now they have a spotlight on them, and they can all be investigated.
Imagine this. Imagine how they could be like shaking right now. Shaking in their boots.
The question is whether or not actions follow the
put the volume higher.
Rhetoric. And if she does, in fact, do something that we've not seen in modern times with the head of the Department of Justice, which is use that very powerful agency to go after a president's political opponents. That obviously is not what we're accustomed to. It's not what we've seen in the past. It's quite arguably not what the Department of Justice is there to do. But again, I'm looking not really so much at the rhetoric, but at the action.
Yeah, we want the action, in fact. We want the action. And we also have this. And all these people, we see that the shaking has already begun. And that shaking is not only political, but in the media. That's why this show was going to be a lot about the media, the reaction in the media. And we first have a reaction from Scott Jennings, who has become a favorite in the show. He calls Trump's new Attorney General pick, Pam Bondi, a massive upgrade over Matt Gaetz. Here's why. Let's see him addressing this.
Is this just a confirmation that would essentially sail through Scott or not?
Well, I don't think you could consider anybody, just they're going to sail without any kind of real process. She's going to have to go through a process like everybody else. But I can tell you, this is a massive upgrade. I've talked to a couple people up on the Hill already. There's a sigh of relief that now we have somebody here, two-term AG, strong record on drug enforcement and opioid issues, a total hawk on immigration, politically supportive of Trump, obviously. I don't know a Republican in the country who doesn't love Pam Bondi. So you were starting with Gaetz, a nominee who was underwater significantly to start and was going to always be hard to get to the surface. Mm-hmm. With Bondi, I do think you're starting above water. And as long as she performs in her hearings, and look, this is somebody who's been through 2 elections in a really big state. And so a lot of public vetting of her has gone on already. So I think this is a great move by Trump to be pragmatic and tell Gaetz to get out, and a really good move to go with Bondi. This is not a shaky limb. This is a sturdy branch.
Yeah, I see. This is when I see that the theory that Matt Gaetz was, used as a strategic move to now make seem that Pam Bondi is the best pick. It's a great pick indeed. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I have another clip here, which no, this is not the clip I wanted to show. I thought that I had another clip. This is a problem that today shows that I have such a bit of a mess in here. The other clip was this one. When I tell you that the shakeup is not only mediatic but political, these people don't know what to say. We have Gavin Newsom, saying pretty outrageous things, and I wanted to look at his body language because what he says, you know that face, right? You know that face. You know that face very well. I have never done a proper analysis on him. I should do at some point.
I'm not looking. It's not about voters. It's not about voters. I care about people.
I care about people. Yeah, that's why you destroyed California. I get it.
I don't care who you voted for. I care about people. I care about Trump supporters.
I care about Trump supporters.
I care about RFK Jr. supporters. I care about Tucker Carlson supporters. I care about Charlie Kirk supporters. I care about Ben Shapiro supporters. I care about all people.
It seems that he doesn't care about Jesus Enrique Rosa supporters. It is really offensive for me.
I care about the people living here in the Sierra, folks down in San Diego where I just was, or in my backyard in Fair Oaks, California. I care about people, and I care about protecting them, their public safety, and their public health. And I care about being.
What? No. This is the one of the most outrageous things that I've heard coming out of this guy's mouth. I care about what?
This was, or in my backyard in Fair Oaks, California. I care about people, and I care about protecting them, their public safety.
I care about protecting them, their public safety. And so many of you are from California, and you know how how are things in California. It's downhill is an understatement, and safety is not a word that I would use. That is something that he must be held accountable for what's going on in California. But sadly, the woke mind virus is very real, and people like Gavin Newsom get elected because of that woke mind virus, because they fool people into this this virtue signaling, this social justice warrior virtue signaling, which has been so toxic all over the country, all over the world, but especially in California. I don't think that it would be any other state in the United States that has been so utterly destroyed by a governor like in this case.
Public health, and I care about being honest with them as well and level setting with them. This is not an academic exercise. We had the experience with Donald Trump. Don't.
No. You will have the experience with Donald Trump, and I should talk about Denver as well. I should talk about the mayor of Denver as well.
Don't fall sort of prey to somehow this is some new day. Listen to what these guys are saying and telling you. Look at what they're prepared to do day one, January 20th, 21st. Get prepared, and no impact will be greater than the impact in this region.
Oh, you can bet it. You can bet it.
And there may be a lot more Trump supporters here, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to still have their backs because they need us to have their back, not turn their back on them.
Okay, you are implying that after January 21st, then Trump is going to harm Californians? Well, I think this yes, used car salesman. Yeah, that he's like. In fact, he's. I don't know why does he have a car right behind him. I didn't get it. In fact, I thought it was a huge spoiler. Spoiler alert. This is not a spoiler, I think, because it's not censored. But yes, he looks like a used car salesman. Anyway, let me see. I think that I can look in real time for this. Okay, this I want to show you this. I'm going to retweet that. I'm going to switch to my X account timeline so we can read some things on my X account. Right here, I wanted to share you with this. Just in, Denver Mayor Mike Johnston has stated he plans to deploy the Denver City Police to prevent the deportation of illegal aliens. These people are beyond insane. New border czar Tom Homan tells liberal governors to get the hell out of the way, and also goes on to say that President Trump's deportation operation is happening whether they like it or not. You see that all these guys have the same physiognomy. Is that he looks like a cousin of Newsom. You know that they have that crazy look. That they look how good I am. I'm going to protect the illegals in Denver and all that stuff. Let me see what else we have here. I had retweeted Adrienne Curry, by the way. When I live in LA, there was a massage parlor across the street from a production studio I worked at. All the women were sex-trafficked illegals. I remember seeing them unload from a van and shuffle into the parlor. When it opened, under supervision. They eventually got busted for forced slavery and sex. This happens all the time. Google it. This is what sanctuary cities promote, why sanctuary cities promote and are okay with. This is what you get when you empower mass human trafficking. This is what they are fighting for. And yeah, that is what is morally, reprehensibly, and well, okay. This is from the Vigilant Fox. We have a feature of the Vigilant Fox here in the show other times. MSNBC accidentally proves that Pam Bondi is the perfect AG pick. She will be every bit the loyalist that Matt Gaetz would have been, just with a little more legal experience and a little less baggage. Pam Bondi is also ferociously against Venezuelan prisoners coming straight into our country. Go girl. A believer that Trump actually won the 2020 election. Good for her. And she even stood by Trump's side during his Manhattan criminal trials and defended him outside the courthouse. That all sounds pretty darn good to me. This is again great stuff. Great stuff. And well, I sometimes need to address a couple things about X. You know that sometimes one can have differences. Sometimes I can have really strong differences with people. And for example, it happened to me with this guy, PTB, a real PTB 123. I really don't remember, but this time, in these days, I saw that someone was retweeting him, and I found out that I got him blocked. I usually say, if I blocked you, I blocked you for a reason. Maybe they had this outrageous opinion. It was a retarded opinion, a retarded take. I really don't care. If I blocked you for a reason, and you will stay blocked. But sometimes, just sometimes, especially these days, I'm reviewing some of my more controversial blogs, and I find myself agreeing with many takes from PTB. He's a Greek American. He is fighting to clean New York City, so I guess we are in the same team in that regard. So I not only unblocked PTB, which I was going through his timeline, and I saw, why did I block him? I really don't remember, but I started following him. So one can have a change of mind, and one can join forces. As you see that, well, maybe we agree on more things than we disagree on. Remember that is something that happens all the time. Maybe you agree 90% with somebody, but disagree 10% with that person. Well, maybe focus on the 90%. It's what you focus on what counts. I mean, maybe you don't agree with me 100%, and that is okay. That is not even the idea. That is not even the point. We are all different. We have different takes. But I wanted to mention that just as an example that, yes, I sometimes block on the spot. Sometimes I can reconsider my stance. Sometimes I could also, this is something that I have been doing lately, follow people that I disagree with as long as they are not, don't try to do things in bad faith. It's like los enanos siniestros, the Krasensteins. I would never follow the Krasensteins because those people, well, I have to be careful because if I show too much of the clip of this Ellen clip, I know that I'm going to. The only trouble these days that I've had with the YouTube, with the copyright, is when I leave just a clip rolling. Okay, that's I have no censorship whatsoever yet, but still I know that they don't like when I talk about vaccines and all that stuff, and I'm going to mention it. But this is what I wanted to point out. Ellen DeGeneres, who fled with her wife. She fled to the UK. We can only guess why. Ellen DeGeneres introduces a group of children to P. Diddy. Is it any surprise she has fled the United States? I think that is pretty clear. I think that is not even a question. Very easy to guess. I cannot play the video because I'm going to just be flagged instantly. But you can see in many ways. I'm going to try to maybe see windowed.
I'm going to see this at some point. So
I'm not going to play this. They having this gas. Oh, and this Diddy, and he hugs the children, and this, in retrospective, in hindsight, is just so cringe, so well uncomfortable, so well enabling that I certainly hope that those dead tapes just explode. Oh, all those is gonna be. All that is going to be exposed. And PTB, I'm going to read what PT had to say. Look at all the lost and confused female SEALs clapping in the audience. Stay-at-home moms were brainwashed by Oprah, influenced by Ellen, and manipulated by The View. They've been attacking our women's minds for ages. Liberalism is a disease that spreads the woke mind virus. I agree with every single word, so I had to retweet him, and I once had blocked him. That's how things work. It's quickly, very quickly, how this develops. We have more stuff from the Venezuelan jails that were emptied into, well, the sanctuary cities, especially New York City. Shocking reports are emerging following Venezuela's decision to empty its prisons, which I already told you is a real thing. Oh, that is a hoax that was made up by Donald Trump. What are the proof? It is a real thing. Are emerging following Venezuela's blah, blah, blah. Releasing dangerous criminals under the condition that they leave the country. Many of these individuals, previously incarcerated for serious violent crimes, have made their way to the United States with the help of the Venezuelan government, and particularly New York City, where they are now unleashing chaos on the streets and in migrant shelters. The violence began at the border with disturbing reports of assaults carried out by these gangs against vulnerable migrants. In one chilling case, well, I can read this. A young child was found with signs of a serious infection after crossing a tragic indicator of the abuse suffered during the journey. You already know what you have to make of that. Now, these same gangs responsible for terrorizing Venezuelan civilians have settled in New York City shelters where they continue to exploit their victims. Migrants, many of whom fled violence back home, are now forced to live alongside the criminals who victimized them. They face extortion, sex trafficking, and other forms of abuse, with many too afraid to speak out of fear of retaliation. And you will say, okay, so they are talking about they are good illegal immigrants and bad illegal immigrants. Well, we could say that they are criminals who cross the border illegally, like criminals and worse criminals who have committed crimes not only in Venezuela but in the United States as well. So those are the ones that Tom Homan has already said that he's going to focus on. This is a thing of priorities. And the good thing is, I'm going to tell you, the good thing is that it would be a nice way to start with those migrant shelters. You start with those migrant shelters, you have like this list of who has been apprehended like 5 or 6 times. Oh, right, and you begin just deporting those. It's very easy because that way those criminals cannot go back to those migrant shelters. They have to go anywhere else. And it won't be long until they are captured hopefully by local police officers because, well, defund the police, that really is not something that was never going to work. That was never going to work. Let me see what else we have here. I found it funny, by the way, that you know that we saw this video of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez yesterday. We were analyzing it, and Konstantin Kisin. I love Konstantin takes. He had this, and it's something that I've told you many times. Watch the videos on mute. In general, whenever you watch one of these people, and by these people he means the crazy eyes, AOC, I recommend muting the sound and watching their facial expressions. Sound advice. Then ask yourself, if someone came up to me on the street and started talking to me like this, how quickly would I remove myself from the situation? And yes, this is a very, very sound strategy, and we can do it right now. We can watch this again. We watched this yesterday with sound. We can watch it without sound, and this is full-on Latina Karen. Full-on Latina Karen. Oh my God, I haven't paid attention to your comments in a while. Haven't paid attention to your comments in a while. Call 911. Yeah, if you see a AOC talking like this, you call 911 immediately. Yes, AOC does do crazy eyes. This is super chats. Super chats. Anita C, thank you for your super sticker, Anita. Thank you for that super sticker. What else? I wonder if Ben Stiller is okay after being forced to make that pro-Kamala ad. I don't think that he's okay. He was not okay doing the ad itself. I remember that was a nice video analysis. Cluster B AOC. I could do an analysis on this. No, I don't want to listen to you. I could do a body language analysis on this, but it would last like 10 seconds. Like, she's crazy. And end of the video. End of the video. Maybe I could. Maybe I could. I should do how she uses her voice, her gestures, and her eyes, of course, to try to make her point more urgent or more, to make it make sense when it doesn't make sense, right? Maybe that could be a good analysis. I should do that. Let me write that down. Analyze AOC. This is the kind of things that I have to do. Dedicate an analysis of, since we don't have Kamala, we need people to analyze. We need people to analyze. And AOC is a great example. And let's see what also we have here. Okay, we had this take from Cerno. I'm going to highlight him. Matt Gaetz was innocent, and it doesn't matter. This is why I tell men to avoid fornicating. It's not from a holier-than-thou position, as if, or even morals based. One hookup, and anyone can make up anything. Use sexual energy to create. Look up transmutation of sexual energy. Good advice from Cerno. Good advice from Cerno. And something that is happening with Pete Hegseth, right? That he has this, claims being resurfaced that he had something with this woman who was married, and after that, she claimed that she was raped, and the cameras and the people at the side, said otherwise. So there were no charges, but they are trying to smear him because of that. So, yeah. Keeping it in your pants is sometimes the best strategy, especially if you don't know if they could be a spy or MK Ultra or something like that, or I don't know, a double agent, a Mother Mata Hari who is out to to get all your secrets out. Let me see. Have another. J.E.M.A., thank you, Jesus, for the great shows. Can we add some Christmas cheer soon? A little tinsel, perhaps? I should have some kind of, I don't know, Santa Claus hat. I don't know. These days, you might have noticed that these shows have been a bit all over the place. I've tried to do my best to bring you the best shows. I'm still working on them, working really hard, especially in the technical side, so everything goes smooth. Sometimes it doesn't go smooth. I try to improve in every single way, but yes, we need to cheer up. We need to cheer up. Yeah, keep it in your pants. Sometimes it's the best approach. Sometimes that is the best approach. All right. Okay, is that Cernovich? This is the kind of thing. Is that Cernovich the person who wrote Gorilla Mindset? If so, I do not like that guy. Yeah, Cerno can have takes that I disagree, strongly disagree with, and takes that I strongly agree with. Again, you don't have to agree with everything that people say, but maybe a nice conversation, and you might find out that maybe if we had a face-to-face conversation, having a face-to-face conversation, we can find out that there are many, many points that we agree on, or maybe we can discover that we simply do not tolerate each other, which either case is a win for either of us, since you know what to expect from the other person, and you learn to know who can you count with, who you know can be on your side when the shit hits the fan. But my body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Until we meet tomorrow, Saturday. Maybe I will have an extra show tomorrow. Maybe on Monday. I still don't know. I might use the weekend to rest. Maybe I will be eager to share this space with you again. You know that it is so fun for me. Even I try to make it fun for you as well, of course. So maybe tomorrow we'll meet. Remember the most important words: much love and bliss. Take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.